Good day, doctor. This is Group 55, and the members are Muhammad AZRUL AZREE bin MOHD REDZUAN and Muhammad Abdullah Shahid. So this is our game, Snake and Fruit. And how to play the game is simple. A snake is in a cage and it needs to eat its fruit. The snake is controlled by the player and it can move left, right, up, and down. If the snake touches itself or the walls, the snake dies and the game is over for the player. With every fruit eaten, the score is increased by one, and the player with the highest score wins. So the number of players can only be 2 to 4 as per the game restrictions. So this is the code. So this is our main class, the game class, and this is our player class. This stores the name and the score of the player, and this player object is in a node in the player list class, which is a dynamic queue. And this is the clear, empty, and enqueue and dequeue functions. So, and this is our source file, which only has the game object and this function control, which just controls the whole game. And so this is our main game class, and it has these these variables, these member variables with a boolean variable for stopping and starting the game, and the x and y coordinates of the fruit as well as the snake, and the arrays to saving for saving the snake's last position. The snake head of the snake's last position is saved inside the array. And then we have composition over here, the player list players, and then we have the number of players, and this is basically a dynamic queue as a told, and this is the string for temporary storing the string and the score in case when and a player is dequeued. And this is the enumeration. We want the directions to be only stop, left, right, up, and down, and we want them only to be 0 1 2 3, 0 1 2 3 and 4. That's why we use the enumeration directions variable direct for moving the snake. And this is our get player data, which takes the data from the player and the name of the player as well. And this is the, and it also has, and with every player data taken, the player is taken inside the queue, is placed inside the queue. And then we have this constructor and the start function, which basically start function just starts the game for the new player. Every time a new player comes, the start function is called. And we have the control function, which is controlling the whole game. We have get player data function called in here, and then we have the loop, the for loop as per the number of players, and then inside there is a loop which is controlled by the game stop variable. And the players are dequeued from the queue which they were placed inside, and then they play the game, and then they are added back to the queue with their scores changed. And the start function is called again so that the new player can play, and then after the game the display position function displays the positions. So this function dequeues the player and displays its data and also the winner of the game. And then we have the draw game function, which basically it basically draws everything. The system clear use in it clears the system so that the snake can move smoothly. And this is the boundaries of the cage in which the snake will move. And these for loops basically are used to move the snake around, as well as the fruit and also the snake's tail. And this basically displays the score and the player currently playing the game. And then this is used for taking the input from the player. This basically detects if a key is pressed, then the snake will move, and it will keep on moving in a particular direction until a new key is pressed and detected again. And then we have the move function, which keeps the snake moving in a particular direction, and also it moves the snake up and down by incrementing the x position and y positions. Also, this function stores the previous xy coordinates of the snake head inside the arrays, so that when a tail is increased, the previous xy positions are passed to the tail. And we have the if condition ensures that if a snake touches the wall of the cage, the game stops. And also, if a snake eats itself, the game stops as well. And then we have this function which basically increments the score variables if the fruit is eaten, and also it gives the new location, as well as the tail is increased. And this function is basically just for slowing down the game a little bit so that it's easy for the player to play the game, so that the snake is not that fast. And the quiet function is also used in the control, and it's just basically stops the game by making the game stop equals to true. And then if I run the code, so I have this the display function which displays everything, and then I just it asks for the number of players. So if I write like a character like TG, it will give me an error. It only works with 2 to 4 numbers. So if even I press 56 or something like that, it won't work. So I have to press 2 to 3. I'll go with 2. So then it asks for the number of player 1. So name of the player 1. So I'm gonna write, all right, and the name of the player 2. And then it's gonna display the name of the player 1, which is placed inside a queue. So the first player is the first one to play, just like in a queue. And um, we can move the queue from W, A, S, and D. So W for moving up, then down, and it's pretty. So with every fruited in the tail, so that the previous game stopped because I hit the wall. Now it's AZRUL's turn, so I will eat the fruit, and if I go back, the game will stop as well because the snake cannot go into itself. And then we have the results at the end, which basically tell the scores and the winner, and that's it. So thank you.